Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. So, let's get started here. We got a lot of construction to do. We're draining our treasury, but, you know, them's the breaks. Oh, wow. We're spending way too much on construction goods. Incredible. Did I really get steel overpriced? No. Ironclads, interestingly. Steel is only moderately overpriced. We got places that need railways and need them bad. Do you need railways subsidized? You do. What else? Guyenne. Yeah, whoa. This is getting real bad. This is getting real bad, friends. Barbara and Ivory Coast. And then Burgundy. You need your railways subsidized as well. Alright, we'll check back with that stuff in a minute. Grassroots support for law. The political wills and desires of the lower classes will always remain an opaque matter. For whatever reason, support for free trade is spread like wildfire across the Kingdom of France, spurred on by charismatic speakers and lively debates in small-time social clubs. They're backing what now? Well, who are we to complain? While their support was never a prerequisite for success, it sure doesn't hurt to have it either. Public enthusiasm expedites reform, stronger Orleanist movement, industrialists stronger, or use this common ground to calm the masses. 20% of lower stratum pops in Guyenne become more loyal. Wow. What kind of a population is that? It's a pretty good number. Still, I got a lot of loyalists. Let's do the first one and get ourselves some stronger industrialists. I guess I do still have an Orleanist movement. Yeah, there you go. Fair enough. So, we are bashing away at building stuff in Spain. So let's take a quick look. See how our leverage is building up. It's growing slowly. Maybe we can get ourselves a deal. Let me see. The Treaty of the Quadruple Alliance has somewhat fallen away. It's no longer binding. We are giving them guns for cash. Let's talk about the Triple Alliance and see if we can get more. They're giving us trade privileges and investment rights in exchange for just trade privileges, which is pretty cool. So let's renegotiate this. What can we provide? Oh, this is also a defensive pact. I didn't realize. Actually, no. What about a power block embassy? I need more influence. Interesting. Curious. What am I doing with my influence? I'm currently improving relations with some countries that I kind of need to be improving relations with. So, let's take a quick look at diplomacy and see where I can... Can I get any more rivalries? I'm rivaling the Ottomans and Prussia. I could rival Russia. That's just an interesting rivalry target. Relations are already not good. Their GDP is much smaller than mine. Their population is almost smaller than mine, which is a shock. But I have been colonizing very effectively. Let's take a quick look at their military. They're still using line infantry and mobile artillery. I'll rival Russia. That's what I'll do. Oop. Hold on. This is the button. Alright, Spain. Spain, old buddy, old pal. Let's renegotiate our quadruple alliance. I want a power block embassy. Deep inside you. Send proposal. Alright, so. Excellent. So, this should give us a significant increase to projected leverage. So after this, obviously we're still building up a lot of investment in Spain, but we're working on Sardinia-Piedmont now. So after that, let's take a look at Belgium. Oh, and I need to look at, can I do that treaty to buy Luxembourg? I can't, because they're not taking loans now. Gosh dang. I wonder if I could... Draft a treaty to get something useful from them. They want an alliance. They want investment rights, not that much. Wait a minute. That's weird. If I also give them an obligation, how much of their money can I steal? Not that much. Not worth it. Can't get that much money in this game. I say, sitting on a huge gold reserve. So, I'm still way over my reserve limit. I'm going to continue to kind of sit where I am, construction-wise. Let's build a Portugal. I want to have Portugal in my block. So, you're in your own market. What's expensive around here? Engines, hardwood, furniture, and paper. Interesting. Let's see where they've got good places to build up. Let's build a bunch of levels of paper mills in Extremadura. Tooling workshops seem profitable. Let's build some of those too. In Beira, no steel mills. I'm looking for the steel mills. You got steel mills in Alentejo. So let's go ahead and build up some motor industries here. Hardwood. Motor industries, hardwood, and furniture. So where do you have logging? Not most places. Really only in Beira. Are you producing your own furniture anywhere? It's looking like no. That's pretty shocking. Alright, well, we got most logging camps here in Beira, so let's build those up. We'll build 10 levels of furniture manufactories here. And to help out with the infrastructure, we'll build a level of infrastructure here. We'll do 2. We probably don't need to build infrastructure in Extremadura. So that's... Hey, law progress to ascent. Wonderful. Let me see. So that should help with the engines situation. Did I just build 1 level? No, 5 levels of engines. All right. And am I... Oh, I need to build up the infrastructure here as well. And then what else? Of course, they're consuming a lot of my furniture, but that's okay. They're going to be in my power block soon, so it's not going to matter. Yeah, they have no furniture industries whatsoever, which is kind of shocking, to be honest. Anyway, the cash will flow to me, so it'll be nice. The profits will be French. Everything else seems normal. They're exporting all their silk, which is fine. Clothes? Clothes? You buying all your clothes in France? No. They're producing their own clothes, sadly. Alright, so I'm significantly increasing the size of the Portuguese economy at this time. The islands are good to go on agriculture. It looks like they can get a little bit more wood out of Cape Verde. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to throw the railways up at the top of the queue to make sure that they're ready to go once the other buildings get built. And we're already building, actually, stuff in Portugal, so it should be fine. How's cash flow? Cash flow still seems good. Infamy is still pretty alright. Damn, Great Britain is just seizing territory all over the place. Unbelievable. Sokoto is still inching up in liberty desire, but not for much longer. We're getting relations up to alright. And that should be good. So Portugal. Let's talk about maybe a... Let's talk about a power block embassy, shall we? You don't want to give us that, but you still would for nothing. Could supply them with a bunch of engines. Is there anything else, though? Let me supply you with some hardwood. Is there any point at which you decide you want hardwood? Weird. I'll give you 10 hardwood for a power block embassy. Hey, they agreed. Wonderful. This game's a little silly. The colonies in Congo? Oh my goodness. Netherlands, you salty dogs. How could you? How are things going over here? Oop, open hearth process. Well, that's actually very good. How are things going in Eastern New Guinea? Do I have the capacity to build a farm yet? I do. We're going to put that right at the top of the queue. Prevent starvation. How's the standards of living here? They're still not great. Do we have some subsistence buildings? Yeah, we got a subsistence farm now. That's what's going on. Alright, so once we've got a proper farm built, things will be good to go. Much better overall. Can support more declared interests. Well, I don't mind if I do. Let me see. Where am I interested? New England. The Andes. Let's do Japan. And that's all I've got the capacity for. Indefensible extortion. My favorite kind of extortion. An orator from the industrialists has gone and is speaking to her across the nation, denouncing protectionism and praising the value of free trade. When we consider that the theory of our great system guarantees to everyone the full enjoyment of all the fruits of their industry and enterprise, it is clear that anything other than the free flow of goods is an indefensible extortion and a culpable betrayal of our values. We work towards a common goal, 10% enactment chance, or the industrialists have a truly remarkable speaker among them. Industrialists happier, stronger industrialists. I'm going to go with the second one. We're going to keep making the industrialists even stronger because we're trying to get ourselves a real legitimate government here, and we're trying to lock in a government by and of the industrialists. Government's still at its most legitimate. Can I disown this random guy yet? This random copy of my king who has spawned somehow? I don't know what's going to happen when these two die, because they're going to die pretty close to each other. Supporting the Prussian workers. We will support the workers in Prussia, boosting the power of their trade unions. Maybe we believe in the international cause of the working man, maybe we don't. In the end, it doesn't matter. What matters is that the Prussian trade unions get stronger. How are things looking in Prussian politics? Yeah, okay. An excellent idea, stronger trade unions, or this would be ill-advised, weaker trade unions. I'm going to do the first one. I don't think this affects my trade unions, but it might. And if it does, I would be delighted. Cash flow still seems good. See, I think we're at a point where everything we build is being purchased by someone's investment pool or other. So we've kind of hit our point where we need to build again. So, Belgium, what's your market looking like? You need more tools. And I am the cat to build them. I can't. They're monopolized. Well, you're lost, Belgium. You idiots. Let me see. You need more hardwood. You need more man-o-wars and ironclads. You need some military shipyards, sir. These can't hire, though, curiously. I wonder why not. Weird. Okay, well, I can't really help you with that part. You need more steel mills. I can build up those. And Netherlands. I'm just going to build what's profitable here. How are you with infrastructure? You're just fine. Couldn't possibly have a more any other issue. Although you're a little bit low in population. Anywhere you've got labor available? Not really. Friesland's a little low in a lot of things, but we could build up the steel mills. Gelra, tooling, and textile mills. And some explosives factories. Oop. Too close to the sun. Alright, there we go. That should be nice. That should give me a little bit more leverage. Spain. Old buddy, old pal. How are we? How are we? It's going up, but only a little bit. I wish I could increase my influence. Um, I guess we have agreed to most of the things we could agree to at this stage. You've even got a power block embassy. There must be a lot of leverage resilience overall in Spain. Just curious. I can't believe your standard of living is higher than I am, but maybe it's because all your people are moving to France. Anything more profitable that I could build up? Perhaps some resource industries somewhere that are good. You got gold mines here. Would mines be profitable? Coal mines in Asturias would be quite profitable. Let's build those. Let's build a metric ton. And we'll throw some infrastructure in at the top just to make sure it doesn't... we don't run the place out of infrastructure. You're maxed out on Navarra. Ooh, free trade. Excellent. Interesting. I can still subvene, but I can't tariff. Curious. I meant to check how much I was making on tariffs before turning them off, but hey, it's fine. We're chill. Let's build up some logging camps in Catalonia. We got the infrastructure for that. We'll go ahead and build one railway. What about Valencia? Anything good to be built up here? Lead mines are not predicted to be profitable, but coal mines would be. No, actually, I don't want to build up a ton of coal mines in Spain all at once. We'll see about the profitability of the ones we've built, and then we'll worry about it. Good predicted profits from some fisheries here in Western Andalusia, though. And logging camps are always profitable, so we'll build some of those. They got plenty of infrastructure. We'll build one level just to hook up our new friends. Let me see. We're currently building up a bunch in Portugal. Then we got our expansion in the Netherlands. And then we're good. So, let's take a quick look at our market. We still need more grocery output. Let me take a look. How much am I spending on subventions right now? Not, a little bit. A little bit, mostly for dyes. So, let's ease off on dyes subventions for now. We'll just cut them down a little bit. I don't want to go too buck wild here because it can lead to a weird, unbalanced economy if you do too much of that. Anything I'm submitting the export of? I'm submitting the export of dyes. We knew that already. And that's really it. So that's fine. That's just fine. Finally, relations with Sokoto are good. Or at least they're less bad, and their liberty desire is going down. Excellent. And they never got over 75. Beautiful. I'm so pleased. Alright, so next up, I want to snag Gondar from Tigray. 11.3 infamy. Nobody who matters to me is interested in stepping in. Let's do it. I'm just going to send the army of East Africa in there to deal with it. USA, why are you being so weird with me? Well, they're on laissez-faire, so they can't nationalize my industry, and that's the thing that matters. Army of East Africa seems to be all the way over in North Africa. We'll send them around. They'll be able to deal with it. 6th French Army, what are you about? You can be deleted. Army of North Africa? Sure. Right, I was going to form an army of West Africa. Oh my goodness. That was more infamy than I planned to have. We're back down to 24, but still. Careful now. Now the long, slow process of getting Sokoto down in Liberty Desire. I think after all this, we'll return to building up France. Because France is the country we're currently living in. I can't... Okay. I thought it had broken, but it was just briefly bugged. Thinking about consumption taxes. I'm thinking about them. I'm not gonna do it, but I just had thoughts about it. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab Tigray, we're going to grab Gojam, and then we're going to incorporate them into Kaffa, and then we're going to we're going to snag these other 2 countries. And then we're going to figure out what to do about Britain over here, because I don't want them continuing to grow more powerful. Kaffa is still low in liberty desire and getting lower, and I should be able to reduce their autonomy before too long. Human rights unlocked. Wonderful. So now, do I have the ability to get to compulsory primary school? I do. The industrialists will be mad about it, but they won't stop it from happening. So let's work on that. They won't stop it from happening. They're too pleased about the state of the country. And this is good. Ooh, anarchism spreading. Fun! People out here like, suppress the anarchists. You can't tell me what to do. We're anarchists. Investment pool is looking really solid. See, I think part of what's going on is my cash flow is really good because I got investment rights in a lot of countries. So I've just got a ton of cash flowing into my investment pool from a million different places, and I think that was one of the things I didn't really realize. I didn't sort of think through during my previous playthrough about how much that was going to affect. Oh, that's right. Yes, I helped Egypt become a sovereign nation, broken off of the Ottoman Empire. The entrenched front. The heavy use of trenches in Eritrea by François Achille Bazin has turned the land into a blasted hellscape. The stalemate cannot last, however. It lasts forever, though, but it's not clear what the best way forward is. He is 73. Have you ever been there in the trenches? It's less lonely than you think. You have friends everywhere. The rats will be with you day and night, and even when your mates die, they'll stay right there with you, just down below in the mud. We must entrench further in Eritrea. He gets the trench rat trait. Eritrea gets Zone Rouge, extra mortality and reduced agriculture, ranch, and plantation throughput, and a bunch of devastation. Or we can't let our defenses stagnate. He doesn't get trench rat. The penalties to Eritrea are smaller, and we get progress on defense in depth. You know I'm going to go with defense in depth. Because I love getting tech bonuses. Now for Gojam, we're going to need to claim 2 states, and that's going to be kind of a pain, but it is what it is. We'll hand both of those over to Kaffa, but we can't do that yet because we need to get Sokoto's liberty desire down. They're reliant on us economically, but they're still here's what's going on. Their landowners are in an independence lobby, and they're just not having it. And those guys are so strong that it's not functioning. So what's it going to take the whole country? 15.6 inches. Alright, so we need to wait a few years. Opposition members put forth demands. More pragmatically inclined members of the industrialists, currently opposed to the passing of compulsory primary school, have offered to change their stance were they to be offered certain political concessions. Such concessions would not be popular with the armed forces, however. Compromise makes for a good umbrella, but a poor roof. It is a temporary expedient. Often wise in party politics, almost sure to be unwise in statesmanship. Acquiesce to their demands, the bill must pass. Salty armed forces, extra enactment chance. Compromise is a tool of the weak. Reduce enactment chance, reduce enactment time, armed forces happy. Or, a prime opportunity to break the bill from deadlock. One entire phase, armed forces furious, increase enactment time going forward. I'm going to acquiesce to the demands. I think the long-term increase in enactment chance is generally the very best it could be. Still building stuff. Take another quick look at our market, see what I need to be prioritizing the creation of. Oh, grain is getting expensive. Is there anywhere I've got a really good, profitable... Oh, right. I forgot to do open hearth process. That was dumb. That was real dumb. That was real dumb. Okay, we'll start submeaning steel. Oh my gosh, iron's become more expensive. That's curious. Well, I guess I know what I need to build up. Heck. I don't need to subvene steel. That's just fine. Alright, where have I got some profitable iron mines? Because that's what's going on the menu. Rice farms need to be in soil enriching farming. Let's see. Very high predicted returns in Burgundy. Let's throw down 10 levels. We'll need infrastructure as well. Auvergne-Limousin, same deal. Maxed out here. Ménanjou, same deal. Normandy, same deal. Alright, nice. Ferdinand Philippe d'Orléans has died. Beautiful. Alright, so that's good. So we're not going to get a bugged out. Unless he gets born again, but that would be too silly. That would be too silly. Where's my railways? My railways! No! Oh, come along. Come along, Victoria 3. Burgundy, Auvergne-Limousin, Ménanjou, Normandy. Wonderful. That should be plenty of time. Airborne. Excellent. Charles d'Orléans. Wonderful. This is perfect. So now I have an heir, and now when our beloved king, the other Ferdinand Philippe d'Orléans, dies, the other component of the Ferdinand Philippe d'Orléans twins passes away, we can have an heir. Now, he's only 71, so let's hope he lives quite a bit longer, because I don't want to have a child as an heir for a long time. Because that's a child as a king for a long time, because that can be a problem. Although, the House of Bourbon has worked that way before, and has had some very good times with men who became king as very young boys. So, you know, your French history. You know it hasn't been the worst it's possibly been for us. If you want peace, the armed forces suggest a more hardline foreign policy towards Bornu due to our poor relations. Bornu. If half of what you're saying is true, I wouldn't want you anywhere near that border, she said, but I don't think it is. Mother, you've always said not to trust the Bornu people. Why would you trust them to respect our borders? No one wants their son to do it because they know it's dangerous. That's exactly why we've got to do it. Set aside polite formalities, they are the enemy. Happy armed forces deteriorates relations. Or despite our mutual dislike, there's no need to escalate this. Reduced authority, armed forces unhappy. I'm going to take the first one. I'm going to make the armed forces happy. Another end of spring event. We're just going to respond to that the way we've responded to every single other end of spring event. Wouldn't you say? Can I buy Luxembourg? I can! Excellent. The Netherlands has wisely agreed to our terms for the purchase of Luxembourg. The territory has returned to its rightful place as part of the French nation. The remarkable things one can do with money, purchase land, silence critique, hire labor, are limitless with the right mindset. With enough of it, one might purchase a country, a natural extension of our borders. Annex Luxembourg. We got the bolt-action rifle. That's very good. I'm going to go ahead and grab French Wallonie. Oh my goodness, the situation is dire. I need to subsidize the railways. I am subsidizing the railways. What is going on here? Oh, because we don't have the necessary production methods. Well, that's fine. We'll work on that as time goes by. A famous cafe. After a chance meeting in a cafe and a thoughtful conversation, Donna de Sol has recommended that Domingo Ochagavia, currently residing in the Kingdom of France, be granted permanent residency. If you're in need of a place to stay, I could hardly neglect to offer you an invitation. It would be shameful for me to, following such a magnificent correspondence, fail to pursue your talents further. We could hardly ask for a more esteemed endorsement, stronger armed forces, and Domingo joins the country, or, Donna de Sol's decision-making is clearly questionable, he loses some popularity and the armed forces become unhappy. So he's the leader of the armed forces, he's a Republican. Now, Domingo, what are you about? You're an authoritarian aligned with the armed forces. Interesting. So what does this allow us to do? Free speech, you're for outlawed dissent. Internal security, you're for National Guard, but you prefer secret police. You're happy with oligarchy? Yeah, sure, why not? Welcome to the country. Alright. So, with that having been said, that is actually all the time we've got for this episode, my nerds. I have had fun, I hope you all have had fun, and I will see you on the other side.